A day before India's 75th Independence Day, the Punjab and Delhi police forces busted a Pakistan-sponsored terror module. They arrested 4 module members associated with Canada-based Arsh Dalla and Australia-based Gurjant Singh, confiscating 3 hand grenades, 1 improvised explosive device, 2 9mm pistols, and 40 live cartridges in their possession. Such a module came to light when the police apprehended the key accused, Gurvinder Singh, in the killing of Shaurya Chakra awardee, Balwinder Singh Sandhu, on August 9. Gurvinder, who had multiple identities calling himself Baba and Raja, possessed many explosives which he was planning to use to disrupt Independence Day celebrations on August 15. He and his 2 colleagues also had 635 grams of heroin and 100 grams of opium. Pakistan had delivered the weapons and drugs to these terrorists using drones.
Despite sweeping sanctions, the European Union countries bought 9.7% more oil from Russia in June than in May. However, oil imports compared to the previous year saw a decline of 7%, while oil products declined by 24%. A broad EU embargo on Russian oil will come into effect in 2023. Meanwhile, the EU issued a convoluted statement easing some sanctions on Russia.
With a view to avoid any potential negative consequences for food and energy security around the world, the EU decided to extend the exemption from the prohibition to engage in transactions with certain state-owned entities as regards transactions for agricultural products and the transport of all to third countries.
Essentially, this provision enables Russian state-owned companies, including Rosneft, Gazprom Neft, and Sovcomflot, to now deal with Europeans on the transport of oil to third countries. The EU banned all transactions between European companies and Russian corporations in March. European energy majors such as Vitol, Glencore, Trafigura, Shell, and Total will now be able to buy Russian oil to sell to third countries.
The Wall Street Journal reported that Ukraine, which is short on resources and income, is printing additional currency notes to pay its troops. Ukrainian Finance Minister Sergei Marchenko told the paper that the country uses 60% of the budget to fund the war, and existing tax revenues only cover 40% of the expenses. Senior Kyiv officials had stated they needed $5 billion per month to run the country. Since they could not raise this money independently, they wanted the West to finance the nation. Grants and pledges from Western countries have been slow in delivery. For example, the European Union had promised $9 billion but has transferred only $1 billion because Germany is blocking the idea of providing low-interest loans backed by guarantees. Rostislav Shurma, an economic advisor to President Volodymyr Zelensky, complained about the Western thought process.
They don't feel the war. That's the problem. The only thing they feel in the EU is high prices. If Kiev acted sluggishly like the West, the Russians would be at the Polish border by now.
By printing currency to pay for expenses, the Ukrainian currency, hryvnia, already lost 30% since the start of the war. Marchenko voiced Ukraine's resolve.
We have to worry about winning the war. It is better to risk high inflation than not to pay soldiers' salaries. This is a war of attrition. You have to think in these terms, to think about 2022 and 2023. It's a marathon.
Sergei Kiriyenko, the deputy head of the administration under Vladimir Putin, accused the West of using Ukraine.
NATO will gladly fight against Russia to the last Ukrainian, as they say, themselves without hesitance. Why not? They don't feel sorry about it.
If you like this content, please press the like button and share it with your family and friends. Please consider subscribing to this channel. It is free. Press the bell icon to receive notifications about new content.